Welcome to Introduction to Business Management 111 online, offered by Harper College. My name is Dr. George Mochocki. We'll be utilizing Blackboard Course Management System and McGraw-Hill Learn Smart and Connect, which is an integrative software to help the students learn. What do we have? Last week you did real well. You are very interested, and it was one of the more livelier forums when you introduce your feasibility subject topic. Many of you have great ideas. I mean, remember, this is just the first part you'll be doing to see, could I actually, what do I need to make this idea and venture to become a success? So what do we have this week? This week we're going to be talking, we only have one chapter. That'll be a chapter 13 on marketing. And let me go into the marketing chapter right away, since this is our 8th week. And you already know the protocol. You're doing very well with forums, and those who don't want to do the forums or are doing lightly in the forums, there's no reason for me to keep on rehashing that. So remember, the graded forums, we already went through that. You know about the logins and everything else. So majority are doing very well. We're doing, I think the majority of the class are B's and A's. I have a couple of C's and 1 or 2 D's. Okay, so what do we have today? Chapter 13. Make sure you always utilize the concept map. The concept maps are important because it gives you the main idea. It lets you see the overview of the whole chapter. In conjunction with the PowerPoints, you have a good learning tool of how to understand the chapter. Okay, so what are we're going to learn? First of all, what is marketing? I'll go a little bit more in this. Marketing is basically you're fulfilling a need. And so you look at the market. Could the product or venture or service you're providing to the market, will it fulfill a need? That takes care of one of the aspects of a market. The other aspect, will the market be able to sustain your business? In other words, will the customers in the market for the product that you're servicing in a geographic area have the ability and the capital or cash to buy your product or services, not only in the short term but also in the long term. Okay, so you're going to talk about 4 areas of marketing. We're at this service and the book and the author even connect when you look at it. When you look at marketing, it's irrelevant whether I'm marketing to for-profit organization or if I'm marketing for a nonprofit organization. I'll use an example for nonprofit organization marketing. The Catholic Church has a big, spent a lot of money on a big marketing campaign, Catholics Come Home. So that's utilizing the same conceptual ideas we're using for a profit, but it's turned around for a nonprofit organization as to stimulate growth in the church or to present a message or bring, in this case, the flock back. Okay, so we have that. You're going to talk a little bit about product development, pricing, placing the product, how much you're going to price the product. Next chapter will be talking about the pricing and time and utilities. Chapter 14, I think, is pricing. Chapter 15 is time and utilities. And all these, the next following chapters, is what you're going to really have to focus in on for your research project. Those are the main ones. Can I market? Is there customers willing to pay for my product? What should I be charging my customers? Who are my customers? Okay, now 14, you'll talk about promotion. You talk about heavy market research. One thing about market research, you have 2 types of data, primary data and secondary data. Let's go with the secondary data first. Secondary data means somebody else already collected it, so it's available for free or at a very low cost. It may not be specifically to your to what you want to find out, but it'll give you a general idea about the market. For instance, if I look at the U.S. Census, it tells me a lot about the demographics of people. It tells me their income level. It tells me of their ethnic or cultural within a geographic area. So you have, the education. So you have a lot of information before you even go. If I'm selling a Mercedes-Benz or if I'm selling a high-end car, will my market be able to sustain that dealership? Okay. 4 steps of marketing: define the problem. When I'm looking at define the problem, it's similar to when we did in the leadership, is I have to understand what problems consumers are interested in. You look at, we have the elections coming up, or every time there's an election, what is the main thing? That's what the whoever is running for office, what is the main item that the constituents are concerned about. Right now, it's unemployment and it's the economy. All the other items, they're important, but not. This is the main focus. Okay, 4 steps to marketing research. So you have to understand the problem first, to find the problem, and how do you feel on resolving a solution. Now you're looking at this as a problem from a consumer, a multiple consumer, a consumer base, a demographic area of consumers that have the same issues or problems, and that's what we're to market to. Okay, so we have that. We talked about secondary data, inexpensive primary data. When you look at primary data, you look at surveys and everything else. That's a little more costly. But by this time, you already identified the market, you identified the key players, and now you're sending specific information to gather this, and it's going to cost you a little bit more. Once you gather that information, you could keep it for your own self, or you could resell it again, the secondary data, to somebody else. May not be able to, hopefully not your competitor, but some other operation that may be able to utilize this information that you've gathered for a cost and utilize it as secondary data. So you're going to talk about how to analyze the data. We talk about ways to find out what customers think. Consumers, you have to understand the consumers. When I'm dealing with businesses or I'm dealing with the mass market or consumers, I have to understand both. What makes them tick? How do they buy? How do they solve the problems? Where do they go to make the decisions? How do they make the decisions? What factors are important for making the decision? And then my marketing campaign and everything else we're working at. ABCs of marketing, customers always customer focused, always focus on your demographics. So even though you have a general product, but if I'm selling a predominantly Polish area, I would have my marketing campaign in Polish. Once I found out that there's no mistranslation of the words, as we've learned in Chapter 3 in Global. If I'm marketing a predominantly Hispanic area, I'd make sure I have this, Spanish people or Spanish-looking culture individuals in my ads, and it's written in Spanish and English if you want to. A lot of companies do both. Okay, marketing to consumers. So you're going to look at 2 different types of markets. You got business-to-business marketing is how I market to businesses, even though they are a business. They're looking at price and a little different things. When you look at the 4 P's of marketing, price, what do you call it? Price, product, promotion, and a place. If I'm looking at where I'm going to put my product and how I'm going to market it. So price in a business-to-business is not my major factor. I'm looking at quality that's built to my specification, that's the delivery time, because that component that I'm buying from you is utilized into my component to make a product that I'll ultimately sell to the consumer. So price is in there, but if you sell me a poor quality component, Sony, if Sony had they had a battery issue with their laptop, people didn't complain saying, hey, I understand, Sony, you bought this battery from another company, you don't make the battery. They say it's a Sony product, it malfunctioned, it no longer had the quality that I, as a consumer, expected with this brand name. Do you see the importance? So price is in there, but it's not the first thing. We take prices, when I'm dealing with consumers, price is the first item that I'm looking at, because that's what consumers gauge quality, and everything else is by the price. Okay, so you're going to break up make sure you understand how to segment a market. Remember, you have a large market, and then now you try to break it down. Am I targeting women? Am I targeting Generation Y? Am I targeting baby boomers? And I may be selling the same product, let's say aftershave or Kleenex, but I target a little bit different to the baby boomers than I would target it to the Generation Y, and I utilize different kind of medium for that. Okay, so buying decisions, make sure you understand how a consumer thinks for buying the decision. So when the consumer is ready to buy that purchase, you have to understand the logical steps that the consumer is going. They first have to recognize the problem. That's what you already done to a lot of your ads, and some of your ads may say, are you lonely? Are you all by yourself? eHarmony is good for doing this. Or do you feel overweight? Are you tired? Do you have the energy? And then you have some health, either food or some health services like a gym or something else that's trying to overcome that that problem that a consumer could see through the advertising of the businesses that's supporting it or trying to promote their service to help the consumer's problem. Okay, so and then business to business, understand the difference, and then you always have my PowerPoints and everything else. Now, if I'm looking at this week, we're going to be doing marketing. Before I go into our forms, which you'll be doing the SWOT analysis, I want you to look at marketing as the heart. Because a lot of times I'll ask students, what's the difference between marketing, advertising, promotion, public relations, and all the other things that are all tied in into marketing. I go, I don't understand. Marketing, if you look at marketing, is the heart. And sometimes I draw a heart, not a real good heart, but I draw a heart. So it means the heart. This is what's really pumping or driving all the rest. It's driving my sales, it's driving my advertising, it's driving my promotion. So if I am at around this time, it's Halloween, and let's say McDonald's or somebody's going to come up with a pumpkin shake, and say, here's a new, pumpkin flavor shake that's coming out. So that's the marketing campaign, integrated marketing campaign. This is the message we want everyone to hear for the next month in October, to buy our pumpkin shake. So what happens is, so that's the marketing campaign. Now advertising starts advertising about the pumpkin shake. It goes on radio ads, it goes in the TV ads, it goes into print ads, and all kinds of ads. And then at the same time, you have a promotion. Try our pumpkin shake, get one, buy one free. Or if you buy a meal, you get a pumpkin shake included with the meal, whatever. So the promotion is to stimulate it. When I drive up to the window of McDonald's and they'll say, hello, welcome to McDonald's, or Burger King, or whoever's doing it, and they say, would you like to try our pumpkin shake? And at that time, remember, so now I'm qualifying the customer again. You want to try it. So what's happening is that in that whole thing, everything that the customers bombarded, the same message is being sent to the customers in different medias at different times. And eventually I'll be driving along and say, you know what? I see a pumpkin. I said, you know, I've got a taste for a pumpkin shake. Let's see, McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's, whatever one that was embedded in my brain with their marketing campaign. Okay? Now, so what do we have? So that will take care of chapter 13 of marketing. This week in the form, you only have one form. Next week, I'll give you two forms, like a virtual water cooler if you have any kind of questions about how the class is operating. By this time, most of you have already got the questions answered. We're running very smoothly. I think the team is doing well. You're doing really good in the forums and interactions. You're helping everyone else. So this week, you're going to do a form of SWOT analysis. A SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Strengths and weaknesses are within the organizations, or my strengths and my weakness. Opportunities and threats are outside the organization. Whenever a business does any kind of a decision, the business person or the company, the corporation, the managers are always doing a SWOT analysis. What are the strengths? What are my weaknesses? What should I look at? What are the threats? What are the opportunities? Should we expand? Should we contract? Should we stay still? In all this, in all decision making, we're always looking at SWOT analysis. What you'll be doing will be providing me a SWOT analysis on your product. So you're going to tell me, or your venture, or your services, what is your strength? And the strengths should not be, well, I got a good management team. If I'm buying a McDonald's hamburger, I had to care less if that management team is good or not. If I'm an investor looking at McDonald's investing, then I do look at the what do you call it? At the management team. So right now, what is the strength of my product? I'm selling a hamburger. What makes my hamburger better than the other competitors? Is it the size of the hamburger? Is it more meat? Is it more protein? Is it more fat? Whatever. Remember, because even McDonald's, I'm going for a big hearty eater. I may not be I'm not targeting for the conscious or health conscious individual. I'm targeting for a person who likes the big, juicy hamburgers and the fries. All right, remember, different target. I'm a business. I'm not the health police. I'm a business trying to target and meet the needs of my market. Okay, so you're going to provide me that, and you're going to tell me, what do you think the threat is? And don't tell me the economy. We're opening up a venture now in the economy. You know the economy is already on the bottom or leveling out, may go a little bit lower, but may come up. So I'm already opening up a business, asking an investor to open up a business because I already know how to overcome this. And my product will, even in an economy that is struggling, will be able to sell my product. Okay, so you'll list that for your product. Then I want one or two of your competitors. List some of the strengths and some of the weaknesses. And see, because when you're going to be doing your marketing campaign opening up, you're going to take your strength, and hopefully it is going to be will offset their or be attacking their weakness. So this way, customers, they like your competitor, but there's this one thing that really irks them, and now you're offering them, but you're also offering everything else that the competitor has, plus this other thing. So now they'll at least come over and switch and try your product. It was the same way I had before I got the iPhone. I would always utilize the BlackBerry for like the security, and then I had all issues with the BlackBerry. It wasn't working well, and there was a lot of issues when they were going with the company was remodifying the BlackBerry. I switched over to the iPhone. I like the iPhone. I got the music, even some of the stuff I don't utilize, but the speed and everything else, and all the connections. I mean, I go back there to a BlackBerry unless they have the same thing as I have at the iPhone, plus more. Okay, so that's just SWOT analysis. Now, other members, so you're going to do your full post by Tuesday. I'm not going to beat on that. Everyone knows that. Your points are ready. A lot of you are wondering why I didn't get the full points. You didn't get the full points because you didn't do it by Tuesday, and you didn't respond to 3 or 4 other people. You're all doing it at the end. You know, remember the forms like answering your email at work. You try to be interactive whenever you can. And I tried. I'm in the form. I'm watching. I'm always trying to have you start learning to work as a network team, working and helping each other out. Okay, so you're going to do that. And so now when you're responding to other people, say, hey, those are good ideas, or question them. Say, did you ever think about this? Or this one is a little bit weak. Or you know what? Here's another competitor you should look at. Or here's what I think your strengths. Here's another strength that maybe you should embed into your process so you go for it. Okay, so that takes care of your chapter 13, marketing, takes care of your SWOT analysis, your forum. Now, since we have one chapter, I'm going to up the points a little. I'm going to up the points, but the same amount of work, just work more. So this way you'll give some people a little cushion to help them move forward. We're in week 8, so we're right in the middle. So let's get a good solid foundation as we're going to the end. So what are you going to do? The Learn Smart. This week you're only going to have a Learn Smart, not a Connect. The Learn Smart is like 40 minutes to complete, maybe sooner if you read the material, understand the material. That means you read the material, looked at the PowerPoints that I provided, utilized the mind maps that I provided. Some of them are, the mind maps are in there, they're generic enough about the main concepts. I've been updating them with the new book that came out, the 10th edition, so some of them are 9th, so, but I don't use any examples in the mind maps. They're basically just conceptuals, and the concepts haven't really modified. But I'll be updating the mind maps with a few, a few of the chapters have a few added additions that are in there. So you're going to do the Learn Smart, and that's worth 20 points. Remember, and most of you did very well in Learn Smart. You only have one quiz. You're still going to have the 10 questions within the quiz, but each question is going to be worth 2 points. So this way you have 20. It'll give you that little bump. Remember, looking overall for so many points at the end, and this will help you move up. So that's about it for this week. We have chapter 13, 1 chapters. We have a very interesting form that's a continuation of the form of your business. And remember, one thing I forgot to mention, but I did mention into my quick overview. As students are responding to you within your forum, and you say, man, that's a real good idea. Remember, it's all electronic. Cut and paste that and create a file on the side, say Business Management 111, Introduction to Business, research topic, for my feasibility topic or research topic, and then you put the 6 headers that I require and take the information, even though you cut it or some of the points, and start plugging it in. So when it comes closer to the end, when you have to write the paper, you don't have to scramble and start from scratch. You've got everything else. Now you just got to put it together, but you've got the information. You don't look where it's at, and we should be all right. Another question, once the forums are closed, how do I get some information back? Just click on the grade on the forums, and it'll get you, you'll be able to read the old forums that you've posted or other people posted to you. So that's about it for this way. So we have 1 chapter. You have what do you call it, a Learn Smart instead of the Connect, worth 20 points. You have 1 quiz worth 20 points, 2 points for each question, 10 questions on that, and I think that's what that should be about it. So you have 65 points coming out of here in a graded forum, and we're doing pretty good. Halfway through, a couple of weeks, you'll be able to take a little breather. You got Thanksgiving, I think it's on the 22nd, it's on Thursday and Friday, so there's no class. In that week, I'll just have a real brief forum, just asking people maybe some extra credit, how to help you on your research paper while you've got that time before you really eat down and relax and spend time with family and friends for Thanksgiving. So my name is Dr. George Mochocki. This is Management 111, Week 8, Chapter 13 on marketing, part of the overall survey course of Introduction to Business, utilizing Blackboard Course Management System 9.1 and McGraw-Hill Connect and LearnSmart. And I'll see you online. Have a nice day. Bye.